Well, here we go again, guys. We're back here for the NRRRL Gingy and Foxy Rap podcast.
We're back.
We're back, mate. Look, and this is the 12th
State of Origin edition.
12th edition of the podcast, the flu version. Obviously, everyone in the Northern Rivers has got the flu now. We've been through everything. We've been through COVID. We've been through floods. Now we're going through the flu. I don't sound 100% today. That's because I'm on the recovery road, as well as a lot of other people around the area are, and some people are still going through the bloody rapid bloody flu again.
So we should be done within 40 minutes tonight because maybe Chris mightn't be talking as much.
You're going to keep it to a time limit tonight.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it's Origin and you're going to rave on about the Queenslanders?
Well, no, look, to be totally honest, tonight we're going to get through the podcast as normal.
Yep.
We have brought it forward a bit today because of that wonderful thing tonight called State of Origin. We can talk about that later. We're not going to, break the silence on that just yet, but we've got a couple of things to come out of that game going into tonight, so we want to have a look at that as well. But as we do always, we've got mate, I can't wait for the whatever section tonight. I've got a bit of Goffy's Goss. Goffy's Goss. It's on tonight.
Yep, beautiful.
We're going to have a bit of a look at Goffy's Goss and see what the Goss is around the region and around the group. Interesting. There's some interesting times ahead because we've got some stuff to come out. There's been some really big developments in the podcast to which we need to take up.
I've got a couple of things I need to check with you too about the podcast.
Okay,
well.
We'll do that in a minute.
I want to know what's going on with the Gingy and Big Fox shirts.
Yeah, mate, we'll get to that. It is happening.
You've been telling me that for like 2 months, 3 months.
Mate, I can tell you right now, the shirts are on their way. And look, for viewers out there, if you want a NRRRL Rap, Gingy and Foxy, podcast shirt, please contact us on our Facebook site. We'll actually put them up there soon and give you a bit of a look at them. Mate, jump in, buy them. They're going to be, I think they'll go like hotcakes. We might even get, on the back of it, we might even get a picture of Goffy. We'll see how that goes. Or we might even give him a sleeve or something. But the sponsors will be all, supplied over the shirts as well. So we'll get to that, mate. But that's down the track. But let's get right into it, eh? Let's just jump straight in.
Yeah, mate. I'm just checking my our little Gingy and Big Fox
Facebook
page for any shout-outs.
We'll get to that as well. So there's another section of the podcast that we've actually brought in. So, look, we're going to jump straight in it. We're going to just go straight to our favourite section, which is the wrap-up of the week, which is called, as we know it, the NRRRL
Around
the Grounds. And here we go. Let's do it. Let's get into it, mate. Let's have a look at the games from last weekend and have a bit of a chat about some of those results, the wins, the losses, and the maybes. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Get into it.
So, first game, mate, off the rank. I said this was going to be a close game. The Murwillumbah Mustangs at home v Bilambil. And I know you said to me Bilambil by plenty, but I don't think the scoreline indicated that game for the simple fact that it wasn't until probably the last 15 minutes of that game where Bilambil sort of got away. Up until that point, I think it was 12-10. Murwillumbah were leading that game for quite an extensive part. And Bilambil really had to fight for that win on the weekend. And as I said, it wasn't a runaway win like you said it was going to be. But, Bilambil find their way on their merry journey in the competition, retaining, a joint lead on the table. And we'll get to that later on as well. But 30-12, mate, and it was a way better performance by the Murwillumbah Mustangs. And I'm still going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this. I believe that the back end of these last 4 or 5 weeks of the competition, that Murwillumbah is going to create some upsets, mate.
Yes, you and I did speak about that the other day, didn't we? And you said, I reckon they're going to do a few upsets, but I still don't think they're going to sneak into the 6.
Oh, they won't sneak into the 6, there's no doubt about it. I call that 6 weeks ago.
But for any of those teams that are looking to cement their spot in the 6, Murwillumbah might have something to say about that.
Yeah, mate, I think they really will. Look, there's no discredit to Murwillumbah. I think they've got a great bunch of players up there.
They've been competitive, games. Yeah, they've lost some tough games.
And sometimes clubs go through phases. And I honestly believe that Murwillumbah is going through one of those right now. I think that sometimes can benefit the club. And if anyone knows about that, obviously we do. We've been through those tough times, particularly the last couple of years. And we've bounced back quite well from those. And, just stick at it up there, you Murwillumbah boys, and keep working hard, and no doubt, if it doesn't happen this year, I guarantee you down the track, the sort of club you guys are, you'll turn it all around and it'll come good again.
Yeah.
So, jumping in, your next game, mate.
Evans Head v Mullumbimby, which Evans Head runaway winners 42-22.
I think, again, this is another game that the scoreline didn't indicate how close the game was, mate.
It was a good game up until a couple of sin binnings, wasn't it?
Mate, I actually believe that up until there was an incident, I think it was just before half time, and it had a real impact on the game.
It did.
There was a bit of a melee between the Mullumbimby team and Evans. You like that, don't you?
I love it.
Yeah, you love it. Melee. There you go. That's an AFL term, but anyway, we in Rugby League will call it a bloody good fight, which you're not allowed to do anymore. You can't throw punches. But I can tell you right now, after review on that, there was a hell of a lot of punches, and I think there's going to be some hot seats tonight at the NRRRL Judiciary.
I think there was some punches that they missed as well after watching it on Bar TV.
So that's what I'm hearing, mate. So look, it's an interesting time for both clubs. I think that melee is going to be determined tonight by the NRRRL Judiciary. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be some blokes having some time off over the next couple of weeks. And, mate, it's the new rule in Rugby League. I mean, you got the one punch, tough love rule.
Yep.
There's week. I think from what I understand of that rule, it's definitely 1 week. There was again, you said there was a couple of blokes that got missed in that one, but it's all been put on report.
Yep.
I'm not a judiciary person.
No, me either.
And
let the powers that be
do
their job.
But it'd be interesting because I know Evans are going through a bit of a tough time as well with injuries.
Yeah,
but suspensions won't help if that's the case.
They won't help them at all, will it?
No, so interesting times ahead. But again, I want to just go back to the Mullumbimby team, mate. They put up one hell of a fight. And I honestly believe that if they didn't have 2 players sent off just before the second half, because they were still in the game right up to the last 10 minutes, and it was only the last 10 minutes where Evans ran away with it, and Mullen just looked like they were out of their feet. But that happens, So
I'm still sticking with I don't think Mullen will make 6.
And well, mate, they're just out of the 6 at the moment, so It's going to be a tough run home. Moving on, mate. Tweed Coast Raiders versus Casino.
40-20.
40-20, interesting. Closer than what I thought.
I actually thought Tweed would run away with this one, but Casino's put up a fight. 40-20.
Up at Tweed as well.
Up at Tweed as well.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So, look.
Big week for Tweed, though. They had their ball on the Friday night, I think.
Mate, I'm glad. I'm so...
Oh, that might have been the week.
I'm so glad.
That might have been the week before,
I'm just
actually.
so glad to sit here and hear you tell us what's happened in different clubs because
I love it.
You've come such a long way in 12 weeks that you actually go and actually find out information from clubs to what's happening inside.
I love what they're doing. Like I follow them all on Instagram,
so what
Facebook.
Was it called? The
Tweed Coast Ball.
No, Tweed Coast Raiders Ball or Tweed
Coast Raiders Ball.
There you go. So they had a ball. Obviously,
they had a ball
all
weekend.
They had a ball all weekend. It was a ballathon. So congratulations to Tweed Coast. Great win. Keeps them motoring along in the competition. I think we'll get to interesting to see where they sit on the ladder in a minute, but they're still going along. Robbo's doing a great job, and their playing group seems to be a good little playing group moving forward. So well done to Tweed Coast.
Casino, don't know what's happening there. We'll
get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that later.
We've got some stuff to talk about in the casino space at them, but we'll keep that for our whatevs. Or if actually that's in the Goffy's Goss section.
Goffy's Goss.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. So moving right along, mate. Coogin v the Turkeys.
Yeah, 46-6.
Yeah, I sort of read that was going to happen.
Yeah, I actually thought it was going to be worse than that, but 46-6.
And I'll tell you what.
Dominant win.
I think the Zebra boys are getting some runs under the belt.
Yeah, I think the more games they play,
you know what I'm going to say
the more dangerous Coogin can be.
Well, mate, my where I see Coogin at the moment, it's a bit like danger. They've got some healthy...
What's that?
That's the old Lost in Space.
Oh, Danger Will Robinson.
Yeah, Will Robinson.
Oh, there you
Danger,
go.
Will, Danger. And I actually think Coogin...
Showing your age there, Gingy.
Oh, well, mate, it was a good show. I used to watch all the time. But, look, they've got some blokes coming back from injury. They are starting to get some runs on the board, albeit, up against Kyogle on the weekend. Kyogle's been good every week. They would have given him, a bit of a run, particularly in the early parts of that game, but Coogin is a team to look out for in the back end of the season. They're outside of the 6. So just, which is they pretty much are at that point in the season where they're going to have to
win
back to back to get
every
through
game.
that 6 and finish somewhere in the 6. I think they're definitely going to be in the 6. Where they position themselves in that bottom 3 is going to be interesting, because as you know, as Harrow said, the top 2 get the double bite, and then obviously 3 plays 6. 4 plays 5, so then it's knockout stages right through from that point forward. So, well done to Kudjin. They're moving along, and I mean, I still think, as I said, there's a bit of work to be done there, but I still think they might just creep into that 6.
Yep.
Based on that performance.
All right, mate. Marsh Brothers v Northern United.
Yeah, bludger. Absolute. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that we were great. What I will say is that. And I'm not going to make any excuses. Marsh Brothers jumped out of the box. We knew it was going to be a tough game, local derby.
Well, it's always is, isn't it? Local derby. Marsh Brothers, no matter where they are on the table, they come out ready to play, don't they?
Especially against Northern.
Northern.
They've always been up for that challenge, and the vice versa. There's been times when Northern haven't been running great during the season, down the bottom of the ladder, and they've actually created some upsets against Brothers. And so it was one of those games where it could have went, from a coaching point of view, I was a bit worried about it. Particularly given the phone calls that I was sort of having Saturday right through to Sunday morning. No excuses. I just think it just goes to show from our perspective, the squad mentality that we've got at the moment. We've got a very healthy squad. It's not about an individual. And I've been saying that for a few weeks now. It's about, when someone's out, the person that's coming in just steps up. And I think that in itself says a lot for where we're at the moment. But we did have a high volume of players that weren't great on the weekend in relation to their health. Obviously, that wretched flu took its toll. But, mate, 32-16 win in the end. Our second half was really pleasing because we didn't allow them to score a point.
It was better in the second half.
So,
They really picked it up in the second half.
And we've
I thought some of them young boys, they really stepped up on the weekend too.
Yeah, they did, mate. We had a young under-18 make his debut, young Jaleel Brown. We've been watching this kid from game one.
A few weeks now,
this season, and I think the last 5 weeks we've been watching him particularly with an eye on whether he was ready for it or not. And, mate, I'll tell you now, he actually got our 3 points and player. He definitely showed his worth. He's a 17-year-old kid. So any 17-year-old kid that steps up into the front row in any game and do the sort of work that he did shows me that he's not just ready. But again, you don't want to be rushing these sort of kids either. You've got to take your time. So he's had a taste. That's just going to make him hungrier, as the season gets on. But if I have to look back and things get desperate for me, he's definitely one of those kids I can go to.
Job, yeah.
But again, it was the NAIDOC game for Brothers, and, they put on a good day down there, and both teams were their NAIDOC jumpers. From what did they or not? We did.
I don't think they did. We did. Yeah, we did.
Well, we represented, so it was good. But outside of that, mate, I was just happy to walk away with the 2 points.
32-16.
Yeah, 32-16. So.
Dave Jackie back. I thought he was good.
He was good.
He was
except
a bit
for the
under
last
the weather
15
still.
minutes.
Yeah.
Last 15 minutes, that flu really took its toll. But I seen him last night, mate. He's jumping out of his skin now. It's funny. You go through that phase when you got the flu, where you're flat. As a footballer, you're flat. You come back, you think you're good. You flatten out at the back end of a game. The most important thing is, it's interesting because you actually go, when you come out of it really well, you actually go on a bit of a high. You go on a bit of a high, and I think that's where, Dave's at the moment. He was jumping out of his skin last night at training and really excited about going into the game this weekend.
Beautiful. Good win there to Northern.
Yeah. So, mate, let's jump into
Let's go straight into the round 13.
Yeah, let's jump into it, mate, straight up.
All right. Northern United at home against Lower.
Yeah, Saturday game.
Big game, I think this one's going to be.
Mate, as probably cautious as I was last week going in against Brothers, I'm even more cautious this weekend against Lower, mate. They've been in great form all year.
Yep.
When they have lost games, they haven't lost games by big margins. They've been right in the game every game. So for me, obviously, from a Northern point of view, we just need to make sure we, do all those little things right this week, prepare well, make sure our defence is in order, and on the back of that, hopefully we can get another result. So if that happens for us too, it's 10 in a row, which is big for Northern.
Couple of players back.
Yeah, mate, we've got a couple of players back.
out.
We've got Alan McKenzie back this week after being on suspension for a week, and we've got Ray Buchanan back this week as well.
Is he next week, Ray Buchanan?
No, he's this week.
This week?
Yep, we've got John Jarrett back this week as well.
John Jarrett back
he was away last week with family commitments. You know, he's the passing of his nan, and John being the oldest, one of the oldest grandchildren of that family, had a lot to do, you know, with his nan, and was a big part of that week moving forward. But yeah, look, mate, John's back this week. So we're healthy this week, and we're going to be, you know, going to this game.
No Clarence Kelly.
No Clarence this week. So we'll give him a break this week for the next couple of weeks, and
beautiful.
Move on.
All right, Kyogle versus Evans.
Yeah, mate, at Kyogle, Turkey Town.
They might pull off
injuries,
an upset, but
the only thing I'm going to say is
maybe
injuries, suspensions.
Maybe suspensions.
This is a tough game for Evans.
Yes.
I think they'll be on, but it'll be close.
If something happens at the judiciary,
then
they could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, mate, because the depth in their reserve grade,
I don't think it's very big.
I haven't seen it really because they didn't play against us in Reggie's, but yeah, mate, it'd be interesting. I think, as I said, if injuries and suspensions play a role in this game, then I'm saying it's going to be close.
Yeah. Bilamble versus Byron Bay.
Bilamble. Yeah.
I honestly don't even know how Byron's still in the top 6, but anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Ballina versus Tweed Coast.
I'm saying Ballina in a 4-point game.
I'm saying Ballina by 16.
Okay, there you go. I'm saying 4.
All right.
Tweed Coast Raiders, you can really do us a favour this weekend. Go out and do a job on Ballina and see how we go.
Mullumbimby versus Marist.
Mate, I'm saying Mullum.
I'm going Marist for the upset.
Mate, well, I'll tell you what. If Marist,
I like the way they jumped out last week.
If Marist can put 2 good halves together like they did that first half against us, they won't only just create an upset, they'll put Mullum out of the 6.
Yep. If Krause has a dig, I thought he was pretty good against us. He was strong.
I'm going to be honest. In a side that hasn't gone great this year, Krause's been absolutely brilliant.
He's been good, hasn't he?
He's been big all year. And I'm hearing, actually it's a bit of a whatevs.
Whatevs.
I'll keep it
Save it for the whatevs.
So Krause had, I think if he can rally his teams, Willie Hammond had a good game on the weekend. I thought he was really good at 7 for brothers. They've had a gutload of injuries, and it was quite evident, mate.
Where's Meadsy?
Well, good question. I'm hearing a lot about, it's a bit like where's Wally.
It was exciting times at the start of the year. Meadsy's in for Marsh Brothers. I haven't seen him play for a little while.
Well, you said where's Meadsy. I'm saying where's Wally.
Where's Wally?
Yeah, not Wally Kelly. I'm saying where's Wally, as in
where's Meadsy.
Where? Yeah. So, Dave Mead, if you're out there, mate, and you listen to the podcast, hope you do, mate. Jump in this back end of the season, mate, and jump in with these brothers, boys, and give them a hand, and help these boys through, mate. You obviously came through that club, and you want to give back, and I just hope that they can get in for the back end, and maybe create some upsets. I think they really can.
Casino versus Coogin.
Yeah, mate, Coogin by a big margin. I'm saying
Coogin by what?
By a big margin.
By a big margin.
We're gonna have a discussion about the casino
Yeah,
situation.
we'll get there later.
So I'm
So
saying
that means the buy is with who's got the buy there?
Oh, mate, I've got no idea. I've got the flu.
Moolumba.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well deserved by Moolumba. I hope you have a great weekend this weekend. Have the weekend off. Come back and create some havoc in the back end of the last 4 weeks of the competition.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the ladder.
All right.
Let's have a look at the ladder.
Mate, you go through the first grade ladder and then I'll do the Reggies.
Okay, first grade ladder so far, we've got 3 teams all sitting on 22 points. The only thing that's splitting those teams is differentials, points. So all on 22. Ballina, Bilamble and Northern United all sitting on 22. Interesting. There's an 8-point buffer between the top 3 and the bottom 3. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go out on a limb. The top 3 will be the top 3.
Okay.
There is going to be no impact the back end 4 weeks in this competition that'll stop those top 3 from
the only battle there is for that 1 and 2 spot.
1 and 2 spots.
That's the spot you want.
So it's a spot. But again, the interesting thing about that is none of those top 3s play each other.
No.
Back end of the season. So I think every club in the top 3 that's vying for the top 2 will be sitting there on the edge of their seats for the next 4 weeks, hoping, fingers crossed, someone gets knocked off. And there will be no one hoping more than me.
Yes.
But anyway.
And me.
So we go straight back to the bottom end of the first grade 6. So you got Tweed Coast Raiders on 16. Mm-hmm. Evans Head on 14, Byron Bay on 13,
This is just.
and Coogins on 12, just
Coogins
outside
on
of, just outside of the 6.
Honestly, I just watching Byron play. I just don't know how they're there, but they're there.
I don't know how many buys they've had this year. I also don't know whether it was a good front end to their season, but mate, Goffy's given me that look as if to say they're gone. And my thing in that is Goffy in this. I would agree with you, Goffy.
Gone.
Yeah, so I can't see Byron factoring in the 6, but that's just me.
Beautiful. All right, let's get into the Reggies.
Reggie's,
Sitting
I'm
on
throwing this
top.
to you, mate, because you're a bit of a Reggie's king.
I
You've won a
love
few
the Reggies.
premierships in the Reggie's grade, and you've also coached Reggie's.
Well,
So I'm going to pass you the ball. Take that
Thanks,
and
bro.
run away with it, mate.
okay, so sitting on top on 24 points, we got the Belamble Jets.
Yeah, mate, I've got one prediction.
They'll win it.
And
Young Chris.
Young Chris is going to win a grand final.
Young Chris is going to win a grand final. There we
There
go.
you go. That's
The
prediction.
Wollongbar sitting in second spot on 20, with Ballina also on 20.
That's that's good.
Byron Bay and Coogin on 16 points.
Byron's in the 6.
Mate, Byron's
first
in the
grade,
top
reserve grade.
in nearly every grade, I
Okay.
think. So Byron's in the top 6 in nearly every
Okay,
grade.
there you go. Coogin is sitting.
Coogin
fifth,
is
did you say?
sitting, just behind Byron. So they're
Coogin
equal
last
on
year's premiers
16.
too. Coogin.
Last year's premiers.
Coogin.
All right.
Yep, last year.
Yeah,
so
they
they're
beat-
actually
they
sitting,
beat
sitting at the
Belamble.
bottom end of the 6 at the moment.
And rounding out the 6, the Lower Clarence Magpies.
Ooh, look out, Northern! You need to get your act together and get ready this weekend because the lower boys are fighting to stay there. And just interestingly, I know the boys in reserve grade at Northern haven't been going that great this year. They won on the weekend,
Good win.
mate. Do you know what? The bottom part of this competition, if they actually win every game between here and the end of the season, they scrap into the 6.
Ooh.
So there's the challenge out for the Northern boys. You need to get up this weekend, or this could be
We want to see you in the top 6.
this could be dinner time. If you don't,
All right, mate. You take us through the 18s.
18, mate. I love this competition.
You love it.
I actually read this under 18s competition, NRRRL, mate. You guys done a great job in making sure and ensuring that this competition
You
is
say
good
this
as what it
every
is.
week.
Mate, it's so close. It is. It's so close. I love it. And there's some great kids coming through, mate. This is proof in the pudding that these kids that are playing in these clubs, if they stick around for the next year or two, how healthy is the first grade competition going to be?
You're going to see a lot of these young boys playing first
So,
grade, aren't
going
you?
to jump straight into it. Tweed Seagulls, who play for Evans Head, on 22. Moolumbar, great breeding stock over there, sitting on 22 as well. So equal differential on the points is why Moolumbar sitting second, followed by Belamble, again another healthy nursery. Northern United sitting in fourth spot on 16. Great effort. Those kids are on their day. They can any of these teams that I'm going to name now can beat each other. That's how good this competition is.
This next team you're talking about, I think they're a good under-18s team too.
Byron Bay sitting in fifth spot, equal points, differential splitting them between Northern and Byron. But I'm going to jump on Les's bandwagon. That team's the one that's out of the box. They could be the biggest threat in that 6.
They've got a couple of young boys that have been sitting in first grade. If they can get them back too,
They'll get them back, don't
18s.
worry, because I can't see Byron, progressing in the first grade competition. But anyway,
Yeah, so
I can be proven wrong, Mickey Foster. Please try and prove me wrong. The last rounding out, mate. Lower Clarence Magpies.
They're in
There
there
you go.
again.
They're under 18s this weekend. The Northern Lower under 18s game is going to be a bell ringer.
Good game. 2 points between them.
And guess what?
What?
Ashmorean's away.
He's away.
Yeah.
Are you taking a job?
Yeah.
So you're saying a W?
We are.
Oh,
I'll
we
tell
are.
you that. Yeah, we are.
Oh,
Yeah, so
thanks
Ash
for
is
the
like- so
thanks for
we'll-
the notice.
Yeah, so you're getting it now.
Okay.
Better late than never. So interesting because losing this weekend, that would mean that there's potentially 3 teams on 16 points in the bottom end of that
I'm going to
competition.
go out and say with a super coaching duo like that,
I know.
up by 20.
I know. Oh, mate, I know. We're going to be ready, But we're going to be ready for both under 18s. There's a good break between the grades because it's 5 grades, but we're going to be ready for that game.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, ladies league tag.
I'm leaving that to you because
Okay, all right, you had to go last week.
Because you love this game so
So
much.
I'll have a go. Okay, sitting in first spot on
Sorry,
22
guys.
points.
That's a fluke off, not
The Coogin Hornets sitting on top, 22 points. I reckon they're a really good side, followed by Marsh Brothers on 21.
Yep.
Belamble, 20. So it's close there between the 1 to 3.
Yep.
Then underneath that, we've got Tweed and Ballina both on 17.
Close.
And then Northern United on 14. And I think behind
What's the
Northern,
buffer?
I think behind Northern, lower are on 13 or 12 points.
Oh, okay.
So this weekend...
Geez, mate, this weekend, in every grade on Saturday, potentially there's going to be a shift up or down that ladder.
Yeah.
Every grade.
Every grade.
So, the Northern girls, you got it all in front of you. You can actually progress your way through the competition and hold your spot. Or
you could drop down.
So, tough game this weekend. Get to training, girls, and work hard and try and get that result.
Ladies tackle, mate. I'll let it over to you.
Ladies tackle. One of my favourite.
We didn't get there on the weekend, did we?
We didn't get there, mate. There was a couple of forfeits. So we were supposed to commentate on the weekend. We apologise to the ladies. We will get to a ladies' commentary at some time between now and the end of the season, particularly, if we have those.
If we get that magic round going of a couple of games, we're there.
Yep. So, ladies tackle. Everyone's going to make the semis. There you go.
Beautiful. Done.
All good?
Good stuff.
So, Tweed, Lower, Northern, Casino, Kyogle, South Grafton. That's the 6. And every one of those 6 are playing finals footy.
And, mate, if you're in the 6, you're in with a shot, aren't you?
Mate, that, I know we've just rounded that up, because that is definitely, that's around the grounds. That's probably been the best around the grounds we've had for a bit, because we punched that out.
That was good.
But I'm just looking over at the Goffy, We've got Goffy's Goss on here.
Yep.
Mate, we've got a special guest here today.
Oh, yeah. Special guest.
Yeah. We've got young Goffy.
Young Goffy.
Yeah, the grandson. How good's he? Look at him. He's got a smile on his face like a Cheshire cat. I want to get him in. He's going to be a special guest in a few weeks. He's going to come on and give us all the goss.
All of Goffy's goss.
We're going to give him Goss's goss. He's coming in 2 weeks' time. He's going to give us the Goffy's goss.
He can read us through Goffy's goss.
That's his job in 2 weeks' time. Mate, you're going to come in and you're going to be sitting with the Gingy and Foxy, and you're going to give us the Goffy's goss section of the NRRRL Rap Gingy and Foxy podcast. No, mate, it's off the scuff. We don't do scripted work. We're off the cuff, boys. We'll sit down and we'll do a couple of
scuff or off the cuff?
Scuff, cuff. It's all. I've got the flu. Get up. Jeez, give me a break. So we've got a special guest coming in a couple of weeks. We've got the young Goffy with the Goffy's Goss section. There we go.
Mate, you bring out all these great segments.
You know what? I think of it like this. I just think I'm an innovator.
Oh, I'm an innovator.
Yeah, I'm an innovator. There's things that I do and create, and that people will go back and watch the podcast back at the end of the season. I'll just go, how good was that call that Benji made?
Yeah, beautiful.
And we should do that. And I've got an example of that coming up soon in the Goffy's Goss section.
Okay, cool.
Or the whatevs. We're going to call it. Actually, no, it's going to be in the whatevs.
Okay, whatevs.
Okay, so let's move on.
Let's get into it. Origin.
What's tonight?
Origin's on. Go the Blues.
Origin's on, is it?
Yeah.
Jeez, I've got some stuff here.
Game 3.
Game 3. Queensland are going for a whitewash, aren't we?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Sorry, guys. Just bear with me.
He had to hide that Goffy to get in the door.
Bring it on, baby. Here we go.
Oh, no.
There we go. Queenslander! Get it going. Queenslander!
Wow.
Here we go. Whitewash tonight. You got to get out. Look, everybody, watch it. 80 minutes of guts and glory. Queensland. I'm going to say it again. QLD land. It will be the winners tonight. And don't you sit here next to me, because I'm going to give you all this isn't Goffy's Goss. This is Benji's Goss. I'm going to tell you something. Here we go. Here's the Gingy's Goss. The big man sitting next to me supports New South Wales. He hasn't tipped them all series. And more importantly, he's jumped on sports bet and he's betted against them tonight on $4 for Queensland. What's that all about?
Just
having
a crack.
Mate, what about that? You thought you could come in here to the podcast tonight and tell me that crap before we got in here and get away with it. There you go.
I've tipped
That's
them,
how die-hard New South Wales supporters look at their team, that they go in there and they put a $4 bet, $25 on Queensland to win tonight, and I will guarantee you'll be the first phone call I make on the 80th minute, brother. So don't turn your phone off.
I'm not going to turn my phone off because Cody Walker's going to run riot tonight.
Well, mate, I said Cody's
I've got a feeling he's just going to chuck New South Wales on his back and say, this is how you get the W, Brad Fittler.
Well, mate, if he can show Brad Fittler how to do anything, because one thing Brad Fittler can't do is he can't coach. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Brad. Mate, great person, great personality, good, front man of a TV show, but one shit of a coach. Sorry, guys. I just call it how I see it. You know what I'm like. Oh, jeez. Getting back.
Okay,
to
mate. Quickly, let's go.
No, that's not quickly. We want to get into this.
What do you
Origin.
think? Queensland by?
No, well, Goffey's going 16.
Goffey's going 16.
Young Goffey.
Blues by?
Okay, you're voting with your head, not your heart. Keep going. What's the score? By 10?
I'm going Blues by 8.
Even though your money's on Queensland, you're going to win the money on Sportsbet. But, mate, I'm going to make the boldest prediction that I've made because I've been pretty close with the scores this year. Is that right? So this year, this game, 1, we're going to get the whitewash. 2, I'm taking the $4 Sportsbet target after I finish this podcast. And 3, 26-12.
26-12.
No, New South Wales. Sorry, mate. New South Wales ain't going to win. We're not going to get it. You're a special guest next week, so that's it. You're cut now. So we're going to get. But in saying that, mate, look, I really do hope Cody has a great game in a losing team.
Mate, give me your man of the match.
Man of the match tonight, mate. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I actually say the man of the match is going to be
the Hammer.
The Hammer.
Fins up, baby.
And he's also going to be, put this on, punters. Punters, please get on this. Man of the series this year.
The Hammer.
The Hammer.
Mate, I'm going to go Jake Travojevic, man of the match. Gerbo, he's back, man of the match. Okay. And I'm going player of the series, Ruben Cotter. Ruben Hurricane Cotter.
Okay, so I'm just going to... So how much are you putting on that, Les? We're not, and we
don't... I'm not gambling, mate.
Well,
I'm gambling responsibly.
You've already put $25 on Queensland to win, so this is the counteract. So if you've got to put $25 on Queensland to win...
You need to stop telling fibs.
Mate, that is not a fib. Anyway, and now you're going to counteract that bet with another $25. I'm telling Matty, but anyway, you're going to put another $25 on that stupid bet you've just mentioned because that ain't going to win. I am going to ring you at the 80th minute because I'm just going to say, can you collect that $100 that you put on that?
Do you know what happened last time you tried to contact me when you won the State of Origin game?
I just want to know you're going to talk to me on Thursday night.
I left the group chat.
You got to come with my knee operation that I've had. You are my opposed referee at training, so I just need to know right now. Let's call it out.
I'm not going to be there.
Queensland win. You have to turn up Thursday night for training.
Okay.
So there you go, guys. Look, State of Origin. I'm not going to go through the team. I've been through that. You know.
That's it. Done and dusted.
New South Wales. The only thing I will say before we finish on that, New South Wales, it'll be the last time that James, I can't pass Tedesco, is the captain of the New South Wales team, and it'll be the last game he ever plays for the state, followed by his coach. So that's my boldest prediction.
Very bold.
You know, and there's what I've got a Origin. Actually, I want to do it now.
Okay, do it now.
I'm not going to save it for the whatevs. This will be the biggest call in Origin for the last 10 years.
Oh,
so tonight,
hit me with
it. Brad Fittler will do the most stupid, dumbest thing I've ever seen as a coach for a New South Wales team. Mm-hmm. He's going to drop Damien Cook before the game. Mm. He's going to shift the young kid from the Cowboys, Robson, into starting hooker.
Yep.
He's going to bring the young back rower from
Spencer Leniu
into the team. Mm. And I'm just going to say one thing about that. Stupid. But anyway, I can tell you right now, not Gutho. Sorry, Gutho, but just saying.
So where are you getting that goss from?
Well, mate, I actually think I'm on the money with it.
Okay, well, let's wait and see.
I want you to ring me.
I hope it doesn't happen.
I want you to ring me before the game starts and say, holy shit, you knew exactly what was going on. But anyway, that's the Origin goss for tonight.
Have you been Googling?
No Googles, mate. I can't Google. I've got the flu.
Okay, so. Origin gone. Goffy's
goss. Goffy's goss.
Goffy's goss.
What's in Goffy's goss? What's in Goffy's? What's in the bag?
I don't know.
We know we got to do.
What?
We got to get a bag. You know,
and just pull out Goffy's goss.
Send letters to the editor.
Yep.
We shake it. You know, you can send in letters. You can send, but we do emails obviously these days, and our
Facebook page, which I manage, by the way.
The biggest thing probably that come out of Goffy's goss.
Goffy's goss.
So. The big thing coming out of Goffy's goss, there's some trouble brewing. There's some big trouble brewing in casino.
Yep.
And hot off the press. We believe that there's been some changes that have been made in Casino from a coaching perspective. Potentially, there could be another change in their first grade team for the rest of the season, the remainder of the season.
Or reserve
Hot off
grade
the
or
press
something.
coming through Goss's Goss, which means that Casino may only field reserve grade 18s and ladies league take for the rest of the season, the remainder of the season. Hot off the press coming through directly through Goss's Goss.
We'll have to wait and see what happens there, won't we?
It'll be, mate, I'll tell you what, watch this space, because if that happens,
Hopefully it doesn't.
hopefully,
This close to the end
and
of the season.
I think for something like that to occur with 5 games remaining, is probably one of the biggest calls in any club. I've never seen it done before in this competition. A coach, or not a coach, but I mean a club going through the turmoil that's happening over there. Look, we're happy to be open to proven wrong. You can contact us on our Facebook site. You can drop an email through to Goffy's Goss on the podcast email site as well. But yeah, look, mate, that's not good if that's the case.
All right, let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see.
Hopefully it doesn't, but let's wait and see.
Got anything else in the Goffy's Goss section?
No, mate, I've got nothing. Have you?
I don't know. Why don't we just look to the man?
Anything else, Goffy?
anything-
Sightings.
Jeez, do I have to stop? Okay.
Oh,
let-
you
let-
love a
let-
good
so-
sighting, don't you?
Look, guys, that is a part of Goffy's Goss. So what's going on? What's going on with the sightings?
According to the Goffy, what does he say about sightings?
Look, mate, well, according to Goffy and the Goffy's Goss, it's sour grapes.
Sour grapes.
It's interesting how, look, the way I see it, and I called it out last week.
Yeah.
I said, we've got really, I think, qualified officials, referees. We've got really qualified touch judges. And I called it last week. Let the officials do the officiating. Let the NRRRL, every Monday night, they've got a match review committee. So they overlook every game of every round, just, to have a look. Obviously, there's a number of things that referees see in games where they're either penalised or put something on report. It goes to the match review committee. The match review committee reviews it on a Monday night. Based on those reviews, they then come back to the clubs with whether players need to front up or the sightings coming directly through them. I just think this could become not good for the competition. It becomes tit for tat. I'm not going to, and I'll be straight up, I'm going to be really honest. From my coaching point of view, I've actually told everyone in our club, don't do it. I'm not into that. I don't play tit for tat. I never coached that way, nor should I think our club be in that position. Again, let the officials and let the group officiate that area. And if they believe that something warrants to be cited, let them do it. I mean, I think when clubs start to take it into their own hands, look, fair enough, and I think I mentioned this last week, when clubs start to take, if it's serious enough, then the referees will definitely pick it up. If it's serious enough, the match review committee will pick it up. If they miss it, fair enough, go ahead. If it's really bad. But if it's not...
If it's real bad and a real bad injury from it, yes, sure. Go for it.
And is this sour grapes coming from me? God damn, yeah, it is.
It's come straight from the golf.
It's come straight from the Goffy's Goss. It's come straight from the golf. My only input into this is I actually agree with it. I didn't know he was going to bring this up in part of his Goss section, but I think it's a valid point. I think the NRRRL working group and the referees and the clubs need to really have a think tank about this at the end of the season and come up with a better way to progress it. And I have no doubt people like Tanya and Wade from the New South Wales Rugby League will engage in that process with Harrow and the clubs. Let's have some really... stop beating around the bush about it. Let's be honest with each other. Call a spade a spade. At the end of the day, for me, I don't take it personal at all. But at the end of the day, you've got to call it. So for me, mate, that's I'm not going to rave on about it.
That's your Goffy's Goss.
Yeah, that's my Goffy's Goss.
Beautiful new segment. I like it.
There
Goffy's
you go.
Goss. Goffy, you've got some work to do now. Every week, Goffy's Goss.
Yeah. Well, he did bring it in. We had before we came into the podcast, we had a coffee. Me and the Goffy. I didn't have a beer today.
No.
But he raised some interesting points with me around discussions he's having with obviously referees. He's versed in the game.
Yep.
You know, Goffy.
He knows
one
every
thing,
rule in the rule book, doesn't he?
Well, if he doesn't, then I'll tell you about the only Dave Middleton. He's the Dave Middleton of the NRRRL.
Yeah.
You want to know something about something, whether it's a grand final, who won it here, who was the player of the match in 1969.
Exclusively to Goffy's Goss.
What's the rules? Go to Goffy. Go to Goffy, mate. He knows it. So he's a well-versed man in the game and well-respected, I must say.
Yep.
I'm not blowing his trumpet here, but I am. we want to continue with the podcast and we need another job. But anyway, there you go. So that's Goffy's Goss all rounded up.
That's Goffy's Goss and whatevs in one, is it?
Well, mate, you had a couple of whatevs.
Oh yeah, what do I have?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I gave you the. Oh, I did. Yeah, we do have a whatevs.
What is it?
The whatevs.
We covered it in Origin.
No.
Briefly.
No, this is really serious.
Okay.
I want to know how come it took so long for Far North Coast Rugby to get engaged with the pod. They've got their own podcast now.
What's going on?
Far North Coast. You know what we should do?
Copyrights?
Well, this was our gig. No disrespect to the rugby boys.
No.
But the whatevs moment is, I'm glad rugby's taken something from us again.
Yes,
You know,
again.
like the rugby league boys have created the dead set, pathway to podcasting, and the rugby union boys are now entrenched in trying to do it as well. Good luck to them. I think I wish them all the best. Don't get me wrong. But what we should do, and I'm going to put the challenge to the Goffy, because I know the guys that do the Far North Coast Rugby podcast, I know they do it with Mark Goff Media Sport. We should have
a dual one.
A face-off.
A face-off.
There you go. The rugby union, rugby league, between now and the end of the season, and this before the semi-final series maybe starts in both competitions, let's have a dual podcast. I don't know if this space is going to be big enough for that to occur, but Goffy can make things happen.
He does. He doesn't do.
There you go, the rugby union podcasters. Let's do a joint podcast.
The Gingy and Big Fox challenge has been set.
You know what? It's like when you get the dance challenges, a dance off.
You're not going to dance.
I can't. I got bad. We will have a cast off.
Oh,
there you go.
A cast off.
There you go. There's one.
Bring it on,
So the
boys.
challenge is out to the Far North Coast Rugby Union podcasters. Let's do a joint podcast.
Bring it on.
And let's have a real sports discussion.
Yeah.
Just generally, we could be talking about our games, their games. We could talk about the crossovers of players that have played both codes in this competition.
Yep.
We know we've got a couple of blokes that are doing that, and I'm going to be really peeved off if one player for me particularly keeps doing that. But look, there you go, guys. That's a
there it
bit
is.
of a
That's a
whatevs.
whatevs.
Yeah, it is. That's actually a good way to sum up a whatevs moment.
Mate, did you go to Skimmos?
Well, mate, I didn't have much, to be totally honest. I didn't. The reason being is, as you know, we had a few people away. I was
doing a lot of stuff.
I was stressed.
Yeah.
I had 4 phone calls before the game started with blokes pulling out, so with the flu. So for me, I didn't get a chance to taste the Skimmos, but I've already been there, so I know what it's like. Very good food.
Bit pricey, I've been told by a few people. Bit pricey.
Yeah, there you go, Skimmos. You probably piece of advice, hopefully the guys from Skimmos are watching. I think doing a great job. Your food's great.
Food's great.
But let's have some footy prices,
Yep.
not NRL prices.
Yeah.
Might be the thing I'd say to that. And that's not just us saying that. That's coming back from the fans.
Yep, I've had a few
That's
people say.
feedback from the fans.
Yeah.
There you go. Could be another section. Feedback from the fans.
Feedback from
There
the
you go.
fans. Nothing still beat
Yeah, well, there
United's
you go.
canteen.
That's another Goffy's Goss is at the moment, Goffy's calling it out. And I'm glad Goffy is, because we can't. But he's calling out the Northern United canteen. And go, ladies. They'll have another great weekend this weekend with 5 games being played. So they'll be down there at 9:50 in the morning. So, yeah, so, mate, that's for me, that's the whatevs moment.
I'll see if we've got any shout-outs.
Yeah,
Hey,
let's have a
I'll get on and have
Let's
a
have
check.
a quick look. You're the podcast Facebook king.
Okay, we've got a couple of
Couple of
shout-outs.
shout-outs. Here we
Let's have a
go.
look.
Shout-out moments. That's when the Far North Coast boys aren't doing.
Shout-out to Emmanuel Roberts.
Oh, there you go. The big
He's
man.
saying, go Queensland. Oh, no.
Go Queensland from the big man. Emmanuel. There you go.
Who
we got? Who
we
else
got
we got here?
Poppy. Poppy saying go mighty Queensland with my girl Maya now goes for Queensland. Poppy goes for
all
Queensland.
the good kids go for Queensland, trust me.
Pauline's going Queenslander. Oh, no.
Yes,
all the
let's go.
Queenslanders are giving it to me.
Yeah,
Oh.
here we go.
Shout out to Lena Signs.
Here we go. Hakeem Torrance.
Hakeem Torrance. Shout out to Hakeem
Hakeem
Torrance.
Torrance. There you go, Keemy. Stop playing rugby.
Bound the Seagulls under 12s. Shout out to the
There you
Bound the
go. All
Seagulls
about
under
the Seagulls
12s.
under 12s. Going well. There's a big
Keep
shout out
going,
to
Bound the Seagulls under
I
12.
know you haven't got any games on this weekend with the school holidays, but when you come back, keep going well, guys.
Shout out to the Casino Cougars grand final winning team of 2014.
Mate, that would be... Oh, geez, I'd love to see who was in that
The
team.
reserve grade grand final, I'm
There
pretty
you
sure
go.
that one was.
So there you go, Cougars, grand final team of 2014. Big shout out from the Gingy and Foxy podcast. Who else we got there, brother?
Shout out for a happy 21st to Shakaya Williams.
There you go. Is that a birthday, did you say?
It says his 21st birthday.
Birthday to you.
Oh, you can sing.
Happy birthday. There you go. I can sing too.
No more Go Queensland shout outs, please.
Yeah, well, mate, look, this has been a great... This has been a great segment. I mean, this is our podcast number 12. I really enjoyed this one, actually.
I'll shout out to my other half, Maddie, too. I didn't do that. What about yours?
Yeah, Kylie, thumbs up. Starving tonight, footy food. Hang on, there's a voice. Where's that coming from? Can you hear that? Can you hear that voice?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what was that?
Oh, mate.
There you go. I never heard a word. So, look, guys, we want to thank all the viewing supporters out there, all of the people that are hitting us up on Facebook.
Keep the shout outs coming. We love them.
Keep the shout outs coming in. Listen, the other thing I want to go to, if anyone, and I mean anyone, has got anything for the Goffy's Goss section, you can either drop a line to our Facebook site, or more importantly, you can actually just go straight direct to the Mark Goff Media Sports email address. Drop your email with the Goffy's Goss. It could be anything, as long as it's clean.
Yes.
Yep. It could be anything. And look, we're happy to drop people under a bus. We're happy to drop people. We're happy to run people over with that bus. Because that's what the Goffy's got. It's about creating conjecture. There you go. There's another word for you. There's the word of the day too for the Bidgie and Foxy
you've
Fox.
lost it.
Mate, conjecture.
We
like to create drama. And if there's anything we want to do better than anyone, is make sure that we get the goss out there. Whether it's true, whether it's false or otherwise, let's get the Goffy's Goss going.
Oh, beautiful.
On that note,
let's finish.
that would be an NRRRL Foxy, Big Foxy and Gingy podcast wrap.